Hi, my name is Dinesh Kumar. I'm a CTO and co-founder of Luminorth. We're a small company based in the northeast of England. And this is my talk, a trip from Unity to Godot in enterprise. So a little bit about my journey first. So I started off making games technology, programming games technology in a company called Utechnics that specialized in driving games. I was there for about 7 years or so, and then did lots of systems, particles, tracks, shaders, all that sort of stuff. And then I branched off. I decided to do my own thing. I started a company that made 2D Toolkit, which was one of the most popular assets on the Unity Asset Store for about 6 years-ish. And then after that, started diversifying into more enterprisey things. And what we mean by that is kind of targeting, using games technology for bigger companies. So for example, we built a simulator for McDonald's, built a few VR scenarios for BP, and D&V as well. So all of this has got nothing to do with Godot. We're getting to the fun part just now. So after a few years, I sold my company and then grew the next company to about 70 people, decided that wasn't for me, went back to being small again. Now I've got a small company with about five of us in total, and we build experiences, digital things, and using games technology in enterprise again. So what we've done in the past few years, we've built simulators, we've built VR things, and we've built games. So this talk is primarily about our use of projection and table games. So we've been building these for a few years now. So it's basically in McDonald's restaurants in the UK, where it's distributed. Basically, it's a big table. There's a projector above it, projects games onto the table. It's meant for small children. Small children go in there and touch the screens, hit the screens. Tend to be 4 to 6 player games and very short gameplay. And these used to be built in Unity, and at some point, we decided we were going to switch to Godot. So this is the story about switching one of those games to Godot and what we learned from it and what our plans are for the future. So one of the reasons we decided to look elsewhere was, from a technical point of view, Unity was getting very bloated. We had like 3 UI systems. That's my favorite anecdote. But everyone knows this about Unity. It's getting very big, a lot of half-baked, half-completed systems. And unfortunately, you don't have the source code to fix things if things break, unless you have a lot of money, which we didn't. So Godot has a lot of things going for it. It's a clean code base. It's small, especially for the kind of games we were making for this scenario. This was a perfect fit. And multi-language actually works, right? I don't know if anyone has tried doing anything with Arabic in Unity. You'll lose your hair. So, and finally, we like to bet on open source, right? We had a bet that paid off, Blender. We use that exclusively now, and it's great. And what I'd really like to see is Godot to turn into the Blender of game engines. That would be absolutely brilliant. So, and the other thing was, obviously, Unity did this thing about like screwing up everyone's licensing terms. Not going to talk too much about it, but also that kind of gave us a kick in the backside to say, go do it now. That's a good excuse. So what we decided to do, didn't really have a great deal of time, so we said, right, let's pick the next game we're going to build and build it in Godot. So that's what we did. So we allocated 3 days to it, learned the engine, learned the development tools, and build it. So this is the game that we built. So we usually get given designs. They're usually licensed. We get given designs, but we get a lot of flexibility in how we build the games. And that's where the fun stuff comes in, right? Your creativity is around how to make fairly mundane-looking slides give them life, basically. So to set out the goals before we start, we wanted to evaluate Godot. Wanted to go all in with GD script, and I'm going to basically skip all the basics and get to the more interesting bits in the next few slides. So the things I'm going to talk about are structure, juice, and stateless interpolation. The first one, structure. In Unity, you couldn't really fully structure your projects because your projects were, you had prefabs, that sort of thing, but it wasn't really sealed. So with Godot, it really gives you the opportunity to seal everything. You build a black box, expose the necessary things from the black box, and consume the things within a black box and use functions and signals. And even if I'm hacking together a really simple game, I always keep this, I'm really mindful about this, because you never know when you want to scale with this. The second thing is to make a boring game fun, you need juice. So these slides, these bits of code are not meant to be read here, so you can download the slides later and just kind of look at them. But they're basically cheat sheets to help you get started if you need a hand with that. So what this lets you do is fast program animations and add juice really quickly. And also coroutines, they are great, but the use case for coroutines is slightly different. We use them primarily when you don't know how long things are going to take, as opposed to the tweens, where you know exactly how long things are going to take. Finally, stateless, tweenless interpolation. Everyone should know about this. This is basically using an exponential decay function to interpolate towards a target. It's frame rate independent, it's really smooth, and you can cheat, just use the bit of code there. And the game was a great success. And what was next was what's interesting. So we decided to move all of our games, future games, to the engine, which meant porting our Kinect stack, the projector stack, and various other things. And we did not want to add a GD extension because that adds a C++ toolchain, which we did not want. So we found a really nice little hack using C#, using pinvoke, so you can talk to a native DLL, and then expose the necessary bits to GD extension. And finally, a few roadblocks. We had some issues with web builds, but they've been fixed thanks to Adam. And in our future, we plan to use pretty much Godot exclusively for these games, and SCORM and various other things. Thank you very much.